Hello, my name's Klep, and today I'll be sharing with you some of my favorite manga. For all those who are bored out there or just looking for something new to read. There are no particular order since I'm lazy, but I hope you find something you like. So, number one, Solo Leveling. Man, is Solo Leveling a good read? And honestly, if you haven't heard of it, man, I pity you because it's so good. The art style is beautiful, the action is awesome. So basically, right, Solo Leveling is a fantasy hunter, like Monster Hunter kind of manga, and it's about this guy who's the weakest hunter, and he basically goes on a raid that he's not supposed to, and from then on, stuff happens that I don't really want to spoil, but then he starts becoming really powerful, like growing up slowly. So if you're a fan of fantasy dungeons, hunters, a good mystery as well, then yeah, you'd love this, especially because the action and the art is drawn so beautifully, man. I cannot overstate that. So yeah, this is definitely a good read. Number two, Ajin. Now, Ajin is a thriller manga where there are immortals uh, who live as humans, but they don't know they're immortal until they die. And so a lot of stuff happens where our main character, like, he dies by a good old truck kun, as usual, starting all the stories nowadays. But yeah, the truck hits him, he dies, he regenerates, and then everyone's like, oh, holy shit, he's immortal, you know? And so the whole story is about his experiences, about how, the government's like experimenting on immortals, stuff like that, him escaping, meeting other immortals. And yeah, it's really good because not because of the main character. The main character is great, right? But it's really good because of the facial expressions. I think this is one of the only manga that I've seen where the facial expressions are drawn like so vividly and like you can clearly feel the characters like feeling it. I don't know how to explain it well, but it's so good. And also, one of the best villains I'd say to ever exist in manga or anime or like in any media ever is in here, and he is insane. And I think you guys would love to find out about him. So, yeah, give it a read if you want. Okay, number three, MXO. Now, this is a high school magic, like comedy, romance, fantasy kind of deal, and it's really fun. Honestly, really lighthearted. And it's about this guy who is taking an exam to enter this really high end university. Well, not university, really high end high school. There you go. And he fails a lot. And one time he was trying to leave, and one of the teachers mistook him for one of the students, and basically abducted him. And so he, who is like a normal person, accidentally joins a school where everyone uses magic and learns magic. So it's basically him and how he's trying to like live, really how he's trying to live, because he's basically gonna die every time. I know that sounds dire, but they portray it like really lighthearted and comedy, and you know what I mean. So yeah, it's really fun. Also because the main character kind of grows and learns some form. I'm not gonna spoil it, but he learns a few techniques to deal with the magic users and to fit in the world that they're living in. It's a bit slow in the beginning, I'd say, but if you patiently stick with it, the development of the character and the way he gets strong is really satisfactory. So give it a read if you like High School Magic. Number 4, The Boxer. Now, well, this isn't really a manga, but it's a webtoon about a kid who's really at the bottom of the well, and he's sad and abandoned and just empty basically. And he is recruited by this boxing coach because he sees some talent in him, and he really wants to show the world his new protege. And it's a story about how this guy climbs up to the top, but it's not just about the feeling of him getting powerful, because he is really powerful. He's just talented, right? It's just he was picked just because of his talent, but the way the story shows him and develops his character and how he interacts with other characters and how you want to see what happens. You don't know if he's the good guy or the bad guy. And that intriguing concept really drives this manga because the weight and the significance of these boxing matches are just so cool. But also there's this underlying story of desires and dreams that are accompanying the boxer, the main character, and other characters that he fights with on his journey on becoming the best. And it's a really good read. So if you're interested, then give it a go. Number 5. So this one is called Sunken Rock, and it's about a guy who's kind-hearted and a gentleman who suddenly gets wrapped in a lot of unfortunate business and becomes sort of mafia in a way. And it's a very basic plot. There's not much. It starts with him getting rejected, and it's interesting, but it's mainly good because of the art. And man, if the art of Solo Leveling was good, this is just on an entirely different level. It's just so good. Uh, the artist, who I think is Boichi, who made everything so realistic. All the body proportions, the muscles, the face, the facial expressions, the movements, everything is so dynamic, and it's just eye candy. Even though the story is not as good as it should be to fit the art, but the art itself is a good enough reason to give it a read. And yeah, that's it for the recommendations. I hope you guys found something you enjoyed, and yeah, see you in the next video.